So now we're getting into the bulk of our mount escapes, which is the kipping, which is more than likely where we're going to use. The inside elbow escape stuff does work, but it's very low percentage against a high level person because there's a lot of things they can do to prevent that. So this is mainly what I use here, and I use the knee elbow stuff as a bait into getting them into the proper kipping position. So first we need to go over like what the kip is. So without her on me, I need to have a basic kip, elbows in, hands are going to be on the imaginary hips here. I look to give a bridge, so I'm going to go from a convex position to a concave, where I'm bringing everything into a ball. Your goal, you need to keep your knees glued together. You don't want to be doing this, because then you're trying to kip against your opponent's butt cheeks instead of through the tailbone. So keep these glued, and you just need to practice moving everything as one, not letting these knees drift apart. So this is a solo drill that I made everyone do in the class, where we set the clock for however long, and then we just practice the motion of the kip and keeping our knees glued together. All right, now that we've looked at how to do the kip, we're gonna do a basic overhead kip. So same thing, we need to give a small bridge, one elbow in, small bridge, two. You need to have these in, because if you don't and I go to kip, I'm gonna end up running into slippage problems because my elbows are out and my hands are just gonna slide off. So we need a strong frame to where she can rest on my arms here. So she's gonna be down with a cross face. Switch her cross face so they can see. This is the cue that you need to kip, is when they're down and there's weight off of their hips here. You always need to kip the direction of the cross face. I had her switch it because so you all can see, but if you don't, you're just bridging into the cross face, which is not good at all. So we have everything in here. We're just gonna look to first give a bridge. We're gonna concave ourselves under her chest, and from here, either leg, because we're just doing an overhead kip straight over the top, and either leg can go into the tailbone. It does not matter. Kip, kip, until there's enough space to bring my legs through. When I'm doing this too, where people go wrong a lot, is they push, which you're working against yourself. You're trying to bring your knee in through the tailbone and also push at the same time, and that's going to be very difficult. You're going to find out when you try to do that how hard it is to kip somebody, even if they're lighter than you, because you're literally pushing against yourself. So you need to be pulling your opponent over your head while also bringing your knees to your chest. That's what's going to create that hole for your knees. So she's back on top again. Yes. I have my elbows in nice and tight. I do my convex here, give a good bridge, and then concave. As you can see, my head is on her chest. This is where I want to be under her. You can do whichever knee, left knee, right knee, and you just need to, you can see I'm pulling her with enough space here for my knee to slip through, and then you can either bring one knee and go into the leg stuff, or here, I can bring two knees and go into butterfly. It's up to you and what kind of re-attack you want to do off of that. Both are viable options. Alright, so now we're going to look at what to do if we can't overhead kip. It's very low percentage because a good person's not just going to let you fling them over top. So maybe she's being more heavy with the crossface, where I kind of have to go to one side. So we have everything in. This time we're going to bridge over our left shoulder, because that's the way that she's cross-facing. And we're going to just do the same thing. The only thing that's different is my left knee has to come into her tailbone. It's always the top knee that comes into the tailbone, and I'll show you why here in a sec. So we're going to bridge get weight onto one knee. We want weight on this knee. Concave. I bring the top knee into the tailbone. If I bring this knee into the tailbone and she goes to put her weight back down the other way, then she can successfully do that because there's nothing keeping her up. So when I do this, I need to get my bridge, concave, and then top knee into the tailbone, and we'll go into later what to do if she starts going back in that direction. But for now, we're just gonna kip, kip, and again, you can bring either 2 legs through for butterfly, or because we're off to one side, this would be a much easier entrance into your legs because we already got her off center here. So she's down, bridge, concave, top knee in, kip, kip, kip. And this is a much easier entrance into the legs because this one's kind of already extended and all her weight is already on the right side. Okay, so now back here in the kip, we're going to look at what happens if maybe you're kipping against her and you just can't get her off for some reason. So we're going to do what's called side-to-side kipping, and this is why it's important for the top knee to be in here. We're going to take her back to the right side and kip, and then if necessary, take her back to the left side and kip. So from here, again, top knee always on top, so when you go to the right, the top knee will shift from the right knee to the left knee. And you need to keep your knees glued to her tailbone. What I see people do sometimes, and what you don't want to do, is you go to kip and then you make a big arc this way, which allows her to put her weight back down, and then I'm not going anywhere with the kip. So we need to keep her elevated. We need weight on one knee at all times, never two. So that's why we keep the tailbone, or keep our knee glued to her tailbone. So as we're transferring the weight, she can't put weight back down on her other leg. So I'm here, I do my bridge, concave, I'm kipping. Maybe for some reason I just can't get her over, so I'm just gonna look to kip, kip, and take her this way. And if necessary, maybe even kip back this way. Sometimes with a good person, especially if their legs are locked, you'll have to go back 3, 4, maybe even 5 times to get them off. But you just need the constant pressure of my top knee and her tailbone. So even if she has her legs locked here, like ankles crossed, this is very common, I'm gonna give my bridge, kip, and then she's coming off and I can feel my knee coming through. So sometimes you'll have to go back and forth. So she's on top, maybe a little bit more realistic. She's got her feet crossed. I have to just do my kip, 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 and move side to side if necessary. I'll just show once, facing this way slowly, so you all can see kind of what I mean. So I give my bridge, yeah, you can do it for. I concave, I do my bridge, top knee, kip, kip, top knee switches, kip, kip, top knee here. And you just keep going back and forth, top knee switching as you go side to side until you have a big enough hole to bring either 1 or 2 legs through. It's up to you. It's also an option. Maybe your wrists are bad. I know some people have bad wrists, it just really hurts them to do. You can do the same exact stuff with double hip post here. This is also a good thing to go into if your opponent's just constantly digging underhooks. Maybe you don't feel safe enough to put your hands on your hips. You can do the same thing if she's down on me with double frames across the hips here. You're gonna give the same bridge here and just use these to lift her over top until you can bring your knees through. So same thing, pulling, but you're just using both of your forearms. Maybe your wrist hurt, you got problems, or it's just too risky. Every time you go to post, your opponent's trying to dig and underhook out super hard. You can prevent the underhook by going double across the hips to close off the space, and then you'll do the same thing, bridge, concave, and then kip. So now doing our kipping, maybe we tried our knee elbow first and we already have this kind of grip in, or also if she's got this cross face and I just can't, for some reason, maybe I got one hip here and this one's just not coming, I just can't get the other side in. What you can do is take this hand, you're going to put it on your belly, and you're just going to give small kips until it comes through. And then now you can reinforce this grip. So from here, because we already have everything down here, we're going to kip with this like knee on or knee elbow escape type grip. So this is going to be if she posts. So if she doesn't post, we can still go into our regular kip here with this same kind of grip. But we're going to try to do our kip here. And when I go to do this, she's just going to post two hands over top. So this is going to be really hard because now she can start pushing her weight back down and stopping my kip. So the second we see this, come back down, I do my bridge, she posts. We're going to look to take our knees down to the mat here on the side. And we're going to look to do what's called a side kip. And from here, this is the only exception where you're pushing away, because pulling her is not going to do anything, because I'm just pulling her more into my hips. So because we're on the side here, we're just going to kip and look to open up the space in here. And again, you can bring two knees in for a butterfly, or you can move into your leg entanglements from there. So this you can also do from a regular kip. So if she's down, let's say I try to do the regular kip and she goes two hands on the mat. If you're in the regular kip and she's doing this, your right hand needs to come across the belly. So this one's a little bit more advanced because you have to make a quick grip change in the heat of the moment, but you're going to take your knees to the side here and kip until you can bring your knees through. So again, you can do this with this grip already in place, or maybe you tried a regular kip here and she posts. I need to make a quick grip change and go to my side here. Kip, 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 until you can bring your knees in between. So this one here, very common position. You try to do your knee elbow and they step this foot up trying to go into this technical mount type position. So from here, all we're going to do is look to pendulum our feet to the other side and use our kip to escape from here. So it's going to be kind of hard, the side kip, because she's going to be keeping this to where I can't expose it. It's probably going to be hard to push this down in between against a good guy. So when they do this, we're just going to look to whip our feet and kip. And this is extremely easy because she's already got the leg up, so she's pretty much giving you the space. You just need weight on the opposite side knee so you can effectively exploit that space. So we try our knee elbow here. Maybe we go to give a big bridge and she times it and steps the foot up. So we're gonna come back down and just look to whip our feet and kip. More than likely from here, you're not gonna have to kip very much because the whip is gonna be enough to off balance. You already got all this space, but sometimes you're being extra tight with this leg. You might have to give a little bit of a kip. So if I'm here and I'm bridge, maybe she steps her leg up and she's back heeling actively to try and keep it nice and tight. So I give a bridge. Maybe it's like very tight from here. She's got a really good grip. I might have to whip and do a little bit of a kip to get her off. But I'll show it once for her facing this way, just so you can kind of see the pendulum here. So I give my bridge, she steps her leg up, so I'm just going to drop my hips back down and look to whip and bring my legs in between. And as you can see, there's all that space to exploit very easily. Even if they're keeping it very tight and glued to you, it's still easy to exploit that space, because once you get weight on that knee, the other one becomes very light and you can easily bring your knees through. Alright, so now we're moving deeper and deeper into a worse position. We're going to look at when she gets an underhook up here. So the first thing you need to do, and actually before she gets it all the way up, if you can, you feel them going for underhooks, I always shoot this across to try and delay the underhook and give me a little bit more time to set my kipping in. But things happen, she gets it all the way up. So the first thing I need to do, take that right hand, kip, 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 bring it through. You need to be across both hips. If you try to do it with just one hip, it's not going to work, because if I need to do the side-to-side kipping, I have nothing to push on here. So it's always good to take a cross waist grip here. First thing we're going to look to do is just clear it without using our kipping. Maybe your kipping's not super good yet, so we're going to keep it tight so she's not able to get katagatamis. And we're going to do our bridge. And similar to when in the side control escape instructional, we're going to whip our hand down to the mat, and we're going to look to go palm up and try to bring it through. And once we're here, we can set into either knee elbow escapes, or if you want, you can go straight into your kipping from here, because we already have a good bridge. So she's got her underhook. I'm going to keep it safe, because if it's out here, then you're just going to get arm triangle immediately. So you need to keep it safe until you're ready to go. So I'll keep it latched here. When I'm ready to go, I'm going to bridge over my left shoulder and whip my hand to the mat and look to bring it through and back into the hip pocket here. And then you can go into knee elbows or your kipping, whatever you want to do from here. Alright, so now, same thing here. So you got the underhook. Get this across. We're going to use our kipping to get this elbow out. So what we need here is for her elbow to move out. Especially they're keeping it tight. You need the elbow to move out to start escaping this elbow. We need her to put weight on that elbow. So we're going to give a good bridge. As you can see, weight came down on it. Bring in here. Top knee into the tailbone. You can now bring this arm through, or maybe she's keeping it a little tighter where I can't bring it all the way through yet. Kip, kip, kip until you can bring it through. So you get that first bridge and you can already run it through, go ahead and do that. But maybe she's being a little bit tighter. I just can't pull it through. Kip, kip, kip until that elbow slips to where you can bring it through. And now you can finish your kip from here. You can go, probably I'd go double across the waist here, because you know it's gonna be hard to get your elbow in. You already got her out, so I would reinforce the waist and finish my kipping from there. So one more time here, clearing an underhook with the kip. She's got it up, ready to give a good bridge, concave. I can't pull it through. Kip, kip, kip. And then now you're ready to finish your kip from there. Alright, and then now finally we're going to look at how to escape the underhook if they have it really tight. So this is when you got to use your side-to-side kipping. That's why I said you need to have this here. So we have it here. Maybe I'm trying to do it, I just can't. No matter how much I'm kipping, I just can't get this to pull through. So we need either weight on this elbow so we can pull our arm through, or we need weight on her opposite side elbow so we can clear the cross face. So one of those two things are going to happen with this side-to-side kipping. And whichever one happens, if the cross face is cleared, then I immediately finish my kip. If the underhook's cleared, pull my elbow back in, finish my kip. So we're going to bridge, concave. She's just being tight, I can't get it. Again, switch. Maybe the underhook arm comes out. Maybe she still has it, but bases the crossface hook out. Then I can take her back in this direction. It's going to be all situational on which arm they take out first, crossface or underhook. So I'll switch on this side so you can see the cross face hook. So she's got her cross face in, the underhook. I do my bridge here. Kip, 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 kip. Underhook came out, so now I can go kip back in here and finish with my leg in between. So again, I'll just show, just so you all can kind of see the thing about the top leg always moving back and forth on this. So I do a bridge here, kip, 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 until I have enough space to bring one of my legs through the middle. Alright guys, so that was the end of the kipping. We're going to move into some new stuff coming up here soon. Remember, if you want to see anything specific, be sure to comment it. Got an Instagram now, so I'll be putting that in the description so you all can go on there and comment and like ask to see specific techniques. Keep updated on upcoming like competitions and all that. We're gonna try, if you all want, do like situational rounds so you can kind of see these techniques being used live. I can get a group of people together and have them put me in positions or get in positions where I show these techniques and show you how to use them in more of a live setting so you can see kind of how they actually work in a real role. So if you all want to see that, definitely be sure to comment. We're thinking about doing that, and I'll get a group of people together if anyone's interested in seeing that. But like, subscribe, all that, and thanks for watching the instructional.